All right, so one thing that I want to really go over is what is a mineral technically. I know that a lot of times there might be confusion on what's a mineral and what's not. So to be considered a mineral, it has to follow this definition. It has to be naturally occurring, inorganic solid that has a crystalline structure. So let's break it down and see what that all actually means. So when I say naturally occurring, it has to be found in nature. We have to be able to go out somewhere on Earth and just pick it out of the ground. It cannot be made in a lab. So things like plastics would not be considered a mineral because we have to make those in a lab. So anything that we find first in nature or find out in the ground somewhere or outside, just happening to be there, is naturally occurring. Another thing is it has to be a solid. Can't be a liquid, can't be a gas. So it has to be a solid and it has to be inorganic. Now this word might be kind of new for some of you. So inorganic means it cannot have been living at all. So anything that was once alive is considered organic. So coal, fossils, those are considered organic. They were once living. Fossils were once animals. Coal was once wood. And both of those are considered living. So even though it's naturally occurring, we can go out and find coal and fossils in the ground. They are non-examples because they are organic. They were once living, and we need inorganic solids. And then the last part, a crystalline structure. So it has to follow, if we could zoom in on the atoms that make up each crystal, we would see that in order to be considered, again, a mineral, it has to have a very nice repeating pattern. So this pattern right here is repeating. It has the same pattern the entire way through, whereas this one, glass, does not. It has just a random set of atoms everywhere, and since it does not follow a pattern, it is not a mineral. So those are three things about minerals that have to be true in order to be considered a mineral. Okay, so now how do we know what kind of mineral we're dealing with? So if we're trying to identify minerals, we can do one of 7 different tests. So one test we could do is what's called a streak test, where we take a mineral and we scratch it on a plate and we see what color is left behind. One of the most famous streak tests that you guys do every day without even realizing is graphite streak test. So when graphite is scratched on a surface, it leaves behind a specific color. That is a streak test. So what you guys probably have done in class with your pencils, you're doing technically a streak test. Pyrite, fool's gold, has a different streak than real gold. So if we want to tell the difference right away between gold and fake gold, we can just do a streak test. If it leaves kind of a greenish color, then we know that it's not real gold, then we know that it's fake gold. So right away we have something to help us identify there. Luster, how shiny something is. Is it very, very shiny like a metal, or is it really, really dull like graphite or silky or earthy, meaning that it looks kind of like dirt? It has no reflective properties. So luster is just how shiny is something. How shiny is it? Density should be pretty good at this by now, but remember we can calculate density, mass divided by volume, and once we find density, we can compare that to all known densities, and then we can find out which one is it based on its density. Cleavage refers to how things break. So if I were to take a hammer to these 2 examples and just smash it, when it breaks, it actually breaks into these nice flat surfaces. So it breaks into these thin sheets. Not all rocks, I'm thinking in your mind, probably picturing rocks that are jagged and uneven. But these particular ones with cleavage break in clean sheets. Cleavage, clean is kind of how I remember it. And then fracture is probably more what you're thinking of. Jagged, rigid, uneven edges. So how it breaks could be either fracture, uneven, or cleavage, nice and clean in thin sheets. And then another way to tell maybe what kind of mineral you have is how hard it is. So we use this hardness scale that ranks from most soft to hardest. So diamond's the hardest mineral we have here on Earth, and talc is the softest mineral we have here on Earth. And then where it falls on that line can help us identify. So if I'm at a 5, I already know that that hardness is a 5 and it's got to be this particular mineral. Or if it's a 7, I know that it's got to be this particular mineral. So knowing the hardness can kind of help us identify what mineral it is. And the last one, does it have any special properties? Is it magnetic? If it's magnetic, it has to be a mineral called magnetite. What kind of taste does it have? If it's salty, it might actually be salt. Salt itself is considered a mineral. If it's got radioactivity, if it's fluorescent like these ones down here, what color is it? So these special properties might help us identify some specific minerals. So I hope this was helpful in trying to review what is a mineral.